Hi, this is Tim Campsa with Action Coach of Indiana with our Business Spotlight series. The purpose is to interview local business owners and promote them through our social channels and email database. This is a free service we're providing because when every small business is strong, then the economy is strong. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Tim. Hey, Tim, it's great to have you on the show today.
Great to be here, Tim. I really appreciate you having me on.
Fantastic. Well, hey, let's start with, before we get into your business, tell us, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you personally.
Sure. My first name is Tim. The last name is DiGioia, and I'm the owner of the Town Planner Calendar and townplanner.com in Hamilton County and Boone County. And myself, I'm originally from upstate New York. In a little town called Monroe, which is really not that far upstate because it's a big state, but close to West Point, and which many people are familiar with. And grew up there, went to school in upstate New York to a small Jesuit school called Des Moines College, and started a career, corporate career. Right now, about 37 or 38 years ago, I started with General Electric in upstate New York. And was transferred out to Indianapolis when General Electric bought RCA Electronics way back when. So I worked for them for close to 28 years, and but actually been here in Indiana for close to 20 as well. And we find it's home for us now, that's for sure.
Fantastic. So do you call yourself a Hoosier?
I don't know if I call myself a Hoosier quite yet. I think I'm still, I'm still a New York Giants fan and some of the New York sports teams. But we've enjoyed our time here, made a lot of good friends, and have 28 years. It can't be all that bad. Enjoyed living here. I do have family still back on the East Coast who I go to see, quite often.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Well, Tim, tell us a little bit more about your business. If we were to say, what's your 60-second commercial for your company, what would you tell us about your business?
Sure. Well, I would tell folks that again, my name, Tim DiGioia. I'm the owner of the Town Planner Calendar and townplanner.com. And broadly speaking, we put local businesses on display every day, and we serve local businesses in the Carmel area, Fishers area, Noblesville, Westfield, and Zionsville predominantly, although our digital component kind of reaches a little bit more broadly in Hamilton and Boone counties. But the notion is, with everyday looks from a marketing perspective, our businesses are being seen on a regular basis on a calendar that people are interacting with on a daily basis. So when the need for their goods and services arise, they may get a phone call.
Fantastic. So how long have you owned your business?
Bought the business in late 2008. So it's been, we're now working on year number 13. So we've published 13 calendar editions. So our first one was 2009. So we're working on the 13th now. We're actually working on 2022. I'm always a year ahead of everybody else in terms of the end game as it relates to my business.
Fantastic. So Tim, tell us a little bit more about the planner. Give us some more details. What is it that folks are buying into?
Sure. Well, it kind of starts with what the calendar actually does, and our research suggests, and to be honest, I believe that it's true because my renewal rate is that good. Our research suggests that about 70% of the people that receive this calendar, it's mailed to them free of charge once a year, and but in the communities that I referenced earlier, and again, advertising based. But what we try to do with the calendar itself is to really kind of localize it to that particular community. So in the Carmel calendars, for instance, it will have the school schedules. It will have the football schedules. My boys played did not play football. They played soccer or lacrosse. But when your children are young and you're in the school district, what do you do on Friday nights? You go to the football game. So, but what we try to do is make it really appealing so that these the people that receive it use it throughout the course of the year. And as a result, our paying clients who are advertising their businesses with either branding type ads, which we call display ads, and or coupons for those businesses that are looking to drive traffic into their businesses.
Fantastic. What a great service. So tell us more specifically, who do you serve, or who's your best client, what we call a target audience?
Yeah, well, I'm going to kind of give you the broad thing. I'll reel it in a little bit. I don't know that I have a best client. I'm fortunate that I have a good variety, but I would tell you it's a B2C. So, B2B type businesses should not be advertising with me. This product goes out and our website addresses the consumers in the area. So kind of on a speaking broadly, B2C type businesses, in those communities, of course, because those are the ones we touch the most. But it's a broad list of businesses, restaurants, home services businesses, pet care, family businesses fitness business like yoga and that type, medical doctors, dentists, chiropractors, and that's really the calendar really addresses those types of businesses. And then on the digital side, we enhance the program for those businesses that are working with the calendar with us. But really, there's elements of that are really catering to event-oriented businesses, concert venues, baseball teams, ball teams, or businesses that are doing a lot of regular events, like a restaurant. A brew house might be doing trivia nights or come here and do this sort of thing. So we cater to them, and we're able to support them by presenting on townplanner.com the events that they're doing throughout the course of the year that are above and beyond what they're doing in the calendar with us.
Fantastic. That's a great opportunity for a ton of businesses to take advantage of. So Tim, COVID has had an impact on everyone. What's the greatest impact that it had on your business?
Well, I mean, I guess probably it's more related to how I go about doing my business, because I really spent a lot of my time doing networking. I belong to 4 chambers of commerce. It probably impacted me more so than it did the business overall. We're very fortunate that our client renewal rate's over 70% each year. And then last year, what we did is we reached out to every one of our clients that were in play with us last year and asked them, what are you doing differently in this new environment? And then what we did was we kind of presented that on townplanner.com on their behalf. So in addition to the calendars, which were already mailed and in the consumers' homes at the time, we tried to work with them to work through those tactical things that they've been doing throughout the course of the year, and that helped us a lot. Our business was, probably as good as it was the year before. We were down a little bit, but not. We really weren't impacted too much. Of course, many of the clients' business that we work with, their businesses were impacted quite heavily. But we were very fortunate that most came back like they normally do, and we were able to add some new businesses last year that wanted to do something different and unique, and be able to take advantage of that digital component of what we do as well.
Well, congratulations on having growth during COVID. That's fantastic. So you mentioned one thing. We all had to pivot during COVID to figure out how to, survive and go about our business differently to make it work during the shutdown. So what's one thing that you had to do differently to make a difference in your business over the past year, and how did that work for you?
Yeah, well, again, the networking things, those things, which is really how I market what we do. They were not in play. But as an example, the realtors that we work with, if they all started doing virtual tours of homes. So what we did is we're able to present those, if they were doing videos associated with that, we were able to actually show that on their behalf on townplanner.com. So the digital element again of what we have was very helpful in that regard. And a lot of the you think about the restaurants, many of the restaurants, it was very difficult, of course, but they started doing different things, delivery, pickup, and many of them created apps, new apps that helped their businesses, and we were able to promote their apps on the website as well. And whether that be clients that we were working with or clients that were considering working with us for the next calendar year, if you will.
Fantastic. So Tim, here's an interesting question. It's been said that smart people learn from their mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So what's a mistake you've made along the way that you'd be willing to share so that other entrepreneurs can learn from your experience?
Okay, so a mistake that I've made along the way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm humble, so but I think that I kind of mistakes. I mean, hard to really. I mean, I think I've learned a lot, and I'm trying to think of a particular mistake. I guess I would say that one thing I didn't know about owning a small business is that that you don't get away from them too often. And I tell people I just work less on the weekends than I do during the week. So, I think I've forgotten how to spell the word vacation, but that's. But again, yeah, you make errors here and there along the way, and you just try to learn from them, and then pick up the pieces. And we've been fortunate; we haven't had any major issues with any of our sponsors over the years. Very fortunate about that. But it's owning your own business like everyone else out there that's doing this sort of thing. They know it's probably one of the most difficult things. And I had 28 years in corporate, and this is as hard as anything I've ever done.
Yeah. So true. Yes. I hear you. And it's interesting that the first thing people tend to say to me is, yeah, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be, and all the hats I didn't know I was going to have to wear. And
Sure.
and especially, having long successful careers in the corporate world, right? We think, and myself included, right? We think that we've got all the knowledge that we're going to need. And then it's like, oh, I never even thought of that, and this other thing, and all these things.
No, absolutely. We've been fortunate, my wife is a part of the business as well, and she really drives the digital elements that we do. So, we were fortunate. She was a stay-at-home mom for many years when I was in corporate, and but she's jumped in, and the digital side of what we have is a great asset. In this day when people, suggest that, print doesn't work anymore, I don't agree necessarily. But it is nice, and it's been very helpful to have that digital component, which wraps around on top of the calendar, which is kind of just sitting there saying, "Call me if you need me."
Yeah, there's so much strength in having something tangible in your hand, right? To be able to, especially the way you've described your calendar program, where it's informing people of things that they're going to want to know about, and then the benefit is for your advertisers is that they're right there on the same page that people are going to look for stuff that they want to know about.
Yeah, and I would, the nice thing about it is everybody in the family interacts with it. So if I'm working with an ice cream place, and the kids see a coupon on the bottom of that calendar, chances are they're gonna ask mom or dad, "Let's go," let's go. It is nice that everyone, like I said, for the most part, interacts with it, or at least takes a look at it. When my boys were athletes back in the day, my wife would keep a color-coded schedule on a print calendar on a refrigerator, so I knew which boy was playing where. I struggle sometimes to remember which color one boy was and which color. I might have gone to one kid's game and thought it was the other, but it's so even even the all the adults in the family are also interacting with it as well.
Awesome. So Tim, what do you feel is going to be your biggest challenge in the business over the next 12 months?
I would say, I think, a lot of the businesses are kind of recuperating. I think that's a piece. We're fortunate that obviously the proof's in the pudding, but our costs, I think, is reasonable. But I also think that a lot of businesses, particularly, you think about the restaurant size, the labor force is very difficult, and that doesn't apply just there. But getting people to be able to provide those services now that you have maybe more demand, that's very difficult for those businesses. And we're going to do everything we can to try to help them as they move along, even if it is a client of ours that just wants to say, hey, we're hiring, so we can do that sort of thing, at least on the digital side of what we do. So, but in terms of the product is about the same. The results, I believe, are still effective. The challenge will be, the demand's been lower just because of the as we're coming out of this COVID.
Yeah, absolutely. So second last question here, Tim. We'll get your contact information so that we provide that along with this video so that folks can reach out to you to learn more. But is there anything you want to make sure that we covered today that we didn't, or any offers that you have running?
Well, I have an offer, but it's an offer that I provide all the time. One of the challenges is when I'm our calendar is always a year later. So, we're sitting here in July of 2021, and for a new client, the benefit of that print calendar in the homes isn't going to start until it's delivered late December and in the homes of that they want to be in. So we do this as a regular thing because I think it's a good way to start the relationship. We offer the digital portion of our program free for the balance of the year that we're in, so that we can start the relationship and start to post their business events and get some ads and or coupons up on townplanner.com. And I think it's been very helpful for them for us to get going with them and do some things on their behalf, and as I said, get the relationship started and help them, and hopefully they'll see some results even long before the calendar comes out in December or January.
Yeah, that's a fantastic offer. Wonderful. So we'll make sure to include that here along with this video as well, so that folks can take advantage of that. Tim, last question here. Tell us what's been most inspiring to you during all the craziness of the past year.
Well, I mean, I guess we're making progress. I think I guess one thing I think, and I don't know if I want to even connect it with the past year, but we're very fortunate with our platform to work with a lot of local nonprofits, and they inspire me. I didn't know that a lot of these nonprofits even existed before back in my corporate life. They're out there, but there's so many local nonprofits that are doing good things around our community, and we work with them, and we want to help them grow and get their message out so that the services they're providing are out there for local businesses. I'm sorry, for the consumers that need those services, should I say.
Yeah, fantastic. Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. Tim, that does conclude our interview. For those listening to this, if you've heard something that has piqued your interest, please reach out to Tim. Like I said, we'll include the contact information along with this video. Take advantage of that offer to get the digital advertising for free for the remainder of this year if you sign up for a program in the calendar for next year. Outstanding offer. You will definitely want to take advantage of that. And as a thank you for appearing on the show, we do provide a complimentary coaching session for folks. So Tim will discuss that offline here in a minute. It's been an absolute pleasure learning about you and your business, Tim, and I wish you tremendous success.
Thank you so much, Tim. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
All right, have a fantastic day.
You as well. Take care.
Bye now.